Facebook has made itself so necessary to the online experience that for many people, it is the internet. And that's causing some major problems when it comes to user data and security. You can trace a lot of these problems to a phenomenon called the network effect.
I think the first time I ever read about this, they were talking about fax machine, right? The first fax machine is invented. It's totally useless. But the more people who have it, the more useful it becomes because you can communicate with other people. Facebook is network effects on steroids.
It's an event calendar, a contact book, a photo album. It's a texting, video calling, money transferring social network that makes millions of dollars a day.
$1 million isn't cool. You know what's cool?
2 billion people. And at that size, the network effects push Facebook beyond useful to pretty much being integral to daily life.
It's actually that you personally would miss stuff if you went off Facebook, but it would almost be rude, right? It could be an inconvenience to your peers for you to not be on Facebook because then they couldn't invite you to things that way. So you create a problem for yourself and you create a problem for other people by opting out of it.
This FOMO is how Facebook turns the network effect into profit. Even though no one pays to use the core service, but advertisers, marketers, and other folks will pay for access to that user data. And because users feel that the free core service is so beneficial, they agree to pay, in a sense, by providing that data. Yeah, read those terms of service. What happened with Cambridge Analytica illustrates how our personal boundaries for using that data in the real world are being tested. The consulting firm hired by the Trump campaign for the 2016 election exploited access to the data of millions of Facebook users. Now, Facebook allows academic researchers more access to user data than commercial companies and app developers. So, a researcher built this personality quiz app under those guidelines. People used it, and in doing so, allowed it to harvest data from their Facebook profiles. But no one really read the terms of service, because it also gave the app access to some data on the friends of the people who took the quiz. These are friends who did not directly consent to the terms of the app. Only 270,000 people took the quiz, but by Facebook's latest estimate, the app was able to harvest the data of at least 87 million users. Here's the kicker. This was all above board. The data collection didn't violate any rules. But what wasn't allowed was handing over that data collected for research purposes to Cambridge Analytica. And when it came out that Cambridge used all this data to develop techniques to target voters during the 2016 election, people were not happy. And users wanted to know why Facebook was allowed to do this.
When you have executives saying, it's our responsibility to do X, a good question to ask is like, in what sense is it your responsibility? Is it your legal responsibility? Or are you just saying, you'll feel bad? The situation with Facebook is unique in that there are no legal responsibilities at all, which is different from financial institutions, medical records, other kinds of things like that.
Even though angering its users might seem bad for business, Facebook isn't doing anything unexpected here in regards to your data. Because the aunts and high school friends and work acquaintances on Facebook aren't just the users of the platform, they're also the product. And Facebook sells that product, access to all of that data, to advertisers who want information about potential customers, which is how Facebook makes millions daily without charging you to use it. When you look at it this way, Facebook is very, very good at what it does, even if the people spending the most time on it don't actually like it that much.
And that's why I think it's important to see that as far as we can tell from the research that's available, Facebook is not really good for its customers. It makes people feel lonely and depressed.
Matt's referring to this study by the University of Copenhagen. It compared how participants self-reported various emotions before and after quitting Facebook for a week. It's a good reminder that while Facebook does exist to do things like connect you with friends and help you find events, that's secondary to the platform's business goal of mining your data. Put another way, Facebook only cares that you're using Facebook, not whether you like to use Facebook. Which is why the main selling point is that everyone is on Facebook. Because at roughly 2 billion users, those network effects likely aren't going anywhere. And whether you like them or not, you probably aren't going anywhere either.